Unlike similar information found in magazines, academic journals, or television broadcasts, information available on the internet is not regulated for quality or accuracy. Therefore, it is very important for you to evaluate the resources you find on the web. Keep in mind that almost anyone can publish anything they wish on the web. It is often difficult to determine authorship of web sources, and even if the author is listed, he or she may not always represent him or herself honestly, or he or she may represent opinions as fact. The responsibility is on the user to evaluate resources effectively. In the Google searching video, we created the search animal testing in quotation marks, cancer or AIDS or Alzheimer's in parentheses, to locate sources we could use to support our thesis. Although animals should be respected, it is ethical to experiment on animals if the result is the cure for diseases like cancer, AIDS, or Alzheimer's. Let's look at some of the results and apply the evaluation criteria discussed at the beginning of this module. Authority, the credentials, knowledge, and expertise of the author. Bias, objectivity, the point of view taken in the source. Currency, the age of information in the source. And context, the presentation of the information. What audience is it for? What is the source meant to do? Persuade, educate, etc. The first item on the result list has the title Animal Testing and Research Achievements. This web page is a part of the website Foundation for Biomedical Research. First, let's try to determine something about the authority, or author credentials and expertise. Notice that on the page there is no author credited. In this case, we can try to learn more about the Foundation for Biomedical Research, the creator of the website. Many web pages will have some type of navigation either in the top banner or the footer at the bottom of the page. Look in these areas for an About or About Us link. On this page, the About Us is in the header. Clicking on the About Us link takes us to a page that says the Foundation for Biomedical Research is dedicated to improving human and animal health by promoting public understanding and support for biomedical research. They go on to say that FBR illuminates the essential role animal testing and research plays in changing health outcomes and defeating illnesses affecting both people and animals. There is nothing here about individuals associated with this organization, but we can assume that the authors must have some knowledge in medical research. The About Us information also tells us something about the second evaluation area, bias. From the description, it is obvious that this organization is in favor of animal testing for curing disease. Because this is the agenda of the organization, you can expect every page within this website to present information with this bias, and it would be unlikely to find any pages in this website that criticize the use of animal testing for medical research. Be aware of the strength of an author's or organization's bias. If the information on the About Us page included emotional language or strong appeals, it might be an indicator that facts may be omitted in the information, or there may be very one-sided discussions on the pages in the website. Going back to the page from our Google search, we can see that it is providing information on how animal testing has benefited research in a number of diseases. All three from our thesis are mentioned here: cancer, AIDS, HIV, and Alzheimer's. If we look at cancer, we can see that the author has used both references and links to external material. Things like this help add to the author's credibility. To determine currency, look for dates of publication or update dates. This page has neither. However, we can make assumptions about the age of the material by looking at clues in the text. One of the references is to a classical medical study that was published in 1931, so that's not useful in determining currency. But the link provided within the text goes to information about another study which was published in 2017. So that gives us a general idea of when this page could have been created. Remember that the type of research you are conducting will determine the importance of the age of information. Medical-related topics will require more up-to-date information, while with historical topics you may choose much older sources. Finally, let's look at the context. If we look at the URL for this web page, we can see that the domain extension is .org. This domain extension is for organizations, and in many cases, these organizations are considered advocacy groups because they want you to adopt their point of view. So the information on this page is meant to persuade. In fact, a majority of the results in this Google search come from .org websites, showing that this is an issue with many on either side of the debate. In a case like this, you may want to get different perspectives. One way of doing this would be to add the site:/Google code with edu to retrieve sources coming from only college and university websites. So overall, we can say that the author and organization does have knowledge in the area of our thesis. There is a bias in the information towards the use of animal testing to find cures for disease. This is also the organization's bias. However, the author is using outside sources as support. Since the point of view taken by the author is the same as that in our thesis, the information on this page may be helpful. It would appear that the information is being kept up to date. The information is presented in a way that most people can understand what the author is saying. These are all factors in determining whether or not you would use this web page as a source for a paper.